What's up, world? This is your girl P. So, how to stay in your own lane? What does that mean? Why do we say that? Stay in your own lane. Where do we get that from? Well, in numerology, there's this thing according to your birth date, the month, the day, and the year that you were born. If you add it together, you get a number, and that number sometimes has to be broken down. Like in math problems, you have to break it down to a lesser value to get one sum. But for the most part, the number that you get with adding your month, day, and year, the number that you get is your path. So, for instance, according to my date of birth, my month, day, and year, my life path is a 4, which is my lane. And a life path 4 is a teacher and a worker, which is a builder. You know, a worker, a person that builds, found strong foundations from the bottom up. And staying in your own lane is basically just staying on your path. Not saying that you can't do multiple things, but just being in your lane. Like, don't cross over into somebody else's lane, try to, you know, slow them down and trip them up. It's like stay in your lane and focus on what you came here to do. Focus on your mission, focus on your goals, focus on your dream, focus on your destiny, which is your destination, and if you stand in your lane, you will get there. You know what I'm saying? Not stepping out of line, basically. And as far as like me as a life path forward, being a teacher, I didn't know, like I've said in previous videos, I like to give advice because of my core energy is communication, and I like giving advice to people because it makes me happy. But I didn't know that I was in my lane. I've always been that person, like, you know, I don't judge other people. I get judged a lot, but I don't judge other people. But I didn't know I was always in my own lane. Now, as far as the building part, the worker part, I didn't know that. And my spirit, when I had my spiritual awakening, which means my mind was awakened by God. And usually people have spiritual awakenings through, um, traumatic experiences or things like that, or something that happened that wakes you up to reality and say, you know, let me stop playing around. Let me focus on something, other than what you probably were doing prior to you having the awakening. And it's a good thing, that your spirit gets awakened, because that means God is telling you it's time to rise to the occasion. It's time to rise to becoming your higher self, who you came to this earth to be. And usually when we are, not in our lane and we're not in alignment, we don't know that, but once you find your life path, man, you don't have to do this, I'm just saying that if you don't know which way to go and how to get there, you might want to, add up your birth date or find your life path number and start studying about it and see what God brought you here to do is stay in your own lane. It means that, you're not focusing on other people and trying to sabotage other people. Not saying you were before, but I'm just saying this helps you to stay focused on your destiny, where you're headed. Because sometimes we get distracted and people become a distraction, or you can become a distraction to another person. But sometimes we meet up with people on while we're on our road. Like, it's just saying, like you're driving down the street. Because if you think about your life path and your destiny and where you're trying to go, all you have to do is look at yourself. Like, if you look at the fact that your soul is you, because your body is temporary. You don't get to keep the body. Once you depart from the earth, you don't get to keep the body, but the soul lasts forever, and the soul is you. So if your soul is you and your body is your vehicle, a vessel is a vehicle. So your soul is driving this body. You know what I'm saying? And your life path number is the road that you're taking. It's the expressway, it's the highway, it's the interstate. And your destiny, which is your goals, your dreams, is your job, where you're trying to get to, just like you going to work. And then on the road, you have signs. Like if you were driving down a highway or interstate, just say hypothetically Interstate 10, there's going to be signs on the sides of the highway telling you, this is coming up, this is this, turn this way, it's a detour, traffic jam, accident ahead. It's giving you, these signs is giving you what's to come, to pay attention. And sometimes when you're driving on your path, just say hypothetically going to work, you don't even pay attention to the sign because you just know where you're going. See, that's the same thing. And when you're following your calling that God has for you, you know where you're going once you get the assignment. Once God puts it in your spirit, or what your goals and your dreams are, and once your spirit has been awakened to it, you know where you're going. So it's like, now I know my job, I know where I'm headed, I know which way to go. But my life path and studying the life path is showing you how to get there without any, you know not saying that you're not going to have trials and tribulations, because we have other spirits that are awakened and evolved, and they will put roadblocks up, which be the detours and stuff on the highway when you on your way to work, that will come out of nowhere. You on your way to work and you drive this way all the time. And then here come one day, you might have decided to leave 5 minutes later than you usually do. Why did you do that? Because you didn't know that it was going to be a detour, that they were doing construction on the road. So now you have to pull off of this interstate and go a different direction in order to get to your destiny. And that's how it be in life when you're going towards your dreams. Sometimes it be people doing construction on your interstate, which is your life path. I'm a life path forward, and I'm coming up across a detour because there's some human beings that's trying to block, me on my path. But God sees that, and so He'll give you signs to say, do this, go this way. This is why we have animals, spirit animals, because if you were just say you were walking down the street one day and an animal that you never seen, even if it was an animal that you seen before, they bring messages. Them crossing your path is for you to say, okay, they're telling you something. So it's like back in the day, before for us communication was concerned, birds were the communicators for us. Like they would tie a scroll to a stork and go send, or tie a scroll to a bird or whatever, and send a bird to bring you a message, because birds were messengers. So now, all animals are messengers. They bring messages. So if you have a certain animal that cross your path, it will behoove you to Google and look up what is the spiritual meaning of this animal, because that is the universe giving you a sign. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, and these are signs when you're not looking for them, because once you start knowing that animals and numbers and all of this stuff give you signs, which means that you're on your path in life, and this is a sign off the freeway saying construction ahead, or whatever this animal is sign is bringing you, you're going to start looking for them. You have to be the same way you are when you're driving, on the highway going to work. You don't pay attention to all the signs all the time. You have to, like, it has to be like a sign that comes out of the blue, like you just so happen to look and boom, you seen it, and it's like, okay, it's like you never seen this car before. Say it's a Honda. I'm just going to say a Honda Civic. You never seen a red Honda Civic before. But since you seen this one Honda Civic, you start seeing them all the time. It really is a sign, because you're seeing it over and over and over again. It's trying to tell you something. It's not saying it's trying to tell you that you're going to have a Honda Civic, but I'm just using that as an example how you'll see a set of numbers, and you'll see it all the time where you wasn't seeing it before, you wasn't paying attention. But these are signs that the universe is bringing you, because it's bringing you an energy message. Basically, it's like message, You Google it, see what the spiritual meaning of it is. Boom, that's the message for you. You know what I'm saying? And when you're staying in your lane, you won't be in competition with other people because, we all came here to do a certain mission. We all are, again, we all are here to do something, that be a part of something in the world to help raise the vibration of the world. But a lot of us are in our egos. Not saying that I have never been, because I wasn't spiritually evolved at the time. But when you are a lost soul, and once you was lost and now you're found, and you found who you are, you can help other people find themselves and get in their right path, and get in their lane and get to what God has for them. And that way that, everybody's going in the same direction, but it's not traffic jam because you in your own lane. You know how sometimes you could be on the freeway and you have a person dipping in and out of lanes? That person is crossing over, jumping in front of you, and then they'll jump out of your lane and jump because they're trying to hurry up and get to where we all got somewhere to go. Won't you stay in your own lane? Stop getting in other people's lane, cutting people off, slowing people down, because that's what happens when people jump in your lane and try to slow you down, because they can't stop you from getting to your destiny. They only can slow you down, but that's because they're getting out of their lane, which is out of alignment. They're trying to rush and don't realize that they're going to get pulled over by the police doing that. And all of that jumping in and out of lane, slowing other people down, they just set themselves back. And that's how it is in life when we all, on a journey to success. Because a lot of times people, remember what I said, your soul is you and your body is your vehicle. If you are, and again, I never say things to shame anybody. I'm trying to wake your spirit up and help you to see what it really is your soul is you and your body is your vehicle. So if you just, again, if you're complacent in life and comfortable where you are, because as long as you're living and breathing, you should always be evolving. But if you complacent in life, and I'm not saying that you can't take a break, because we do get tired. You know what I'm saying? We get tired. We get tired. But you still got to get back up and keep it moving. But what happens is that you get comfortable, and it's like your soul left the body and parked where you are. And so it's like you pulled over and you parked and you chilling. And so you're not moving in life. You're just stuck there. And that's how it is. It's like you don't see it like that because you don't realize that your physical avatar, your physical vessel is not you. It's your vehicle. Your soul is you. You know what I'm saying? And if you're stagnant and stuck in a place, and you're and you just in that, just staying there, it's because your soul got out and it just parked. Like, okay, I'm here. And trust me, I done been parked plenty of times, and sometimes I done been parked. We all been parked. Like I said, I'm not saying none of this to shame nobody. I'm just helping you wake your spirit up and get you to realize what being on this earth really is, what we're supposed to do. Our soul is who we are. Who you are on the inside. That's you, for real, for real. This physical body is not you. It's just your car. So it's like people, we as human beings, we care about our avatar more than we care about our soul. And when we heal and grow and evolve as human beings, we're caring about the soul and not the avatar. Not saying you're not supposed to care about it, because you need it to get you from point A to point B, but you don't get to keep it because it's a rental. You know what I'm saying? It was given to you to help you do your mission. It's like your soul needed a physical body, which is a car, to get you from point A to point B to your destiny, to do God's work, what He brought you here to do. He gave you a gift. He gave you a path, a lane, to drive in, to get you there. And He gave you, information in your spirit to get you there, as well as energy in your soul, as far as fuel and gas and all of that. knowledge, and all of those things that get you from point A to point B. But if you pull that vehicle over and park it, you're not moving. You know what I'm saying? And you have to get in your lane. And a lot of times we want to do our own will. We have free will. God don't make us do anything because we have free will. You know what I'm saying? You and do your own will, and you pull over and you say, I want to do this, but you really's here to do that. You know what I'm saying? And so when you realize that what your life path is what you're really supposed to be doing, you know what I'm saying? And then you can use your gifts and do it the way that that makes you happy, because you're going to realize that whatever is in your path, your life path, is really your happiness, and you don't realize that, because you think that when what you're doing, as far as it's not on that path, you think that's what you really want to do, but that's your ego. You know what I'm saying? And we all, like I said, we always led by the ego, and the ego is to help you face your fears and to defend yourself. So if you are going in your life path, that's your true happiness. And a lot of people don't realize that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, my ego is communication, but my life path is to teach. So it's like teaching and giving advice is my happiness. So I'm in my lane. You know what I'm saying? And building a foundation and a legacy for my grandchildren is a part of my life path. I came here to do that. That's what God told me to come here to do. That's what I'm supposed to do. And there's people that try to block it and slow it down and jumping in and out of lanes, but they just slowing me down. They can't stop it. You know what I'm saying? And nobody can stop you. I can't stop you. Nobody else can stop you. The only person that can stop you is you. If your soul get out your avatar, your vehicle, your vessel, and pull over and park. You know what I'm saying? And don't do anything. That's the only way it's not going to happen. You have to get in your lane. Get in the right lane, and that's your path. And that's pretty much, how to stay in your own lane. It just is, and just so you're gonna come across people that have the same lane as you. That's beside the point. These other souls that have the same life path as you is a individual. They have their own lane, even though it might, like, there's a gazillion people that have a life path forward, but we're all individual souls, so we all have different destinations. We're not going in the same place. So we should never be in all life path forward should never be in competition with each other or anyone else for that matter, because we all have different missions. God gave us all different missions. So that's why when you go back to the biblical times and think about the devil, Satan whispering putting information in people's ear and trying to get people to do things and all that stuff. And that's just because he jumped out of his lane and got kicked out of heaven and misery loved company, and now he won't pull other people with him. And that's just basically what it is. It's like, all you got to do, instead of try to get people to go to rock with you, is to get back in your lane. Because God is a forgiving God. All you gotta do is get in your lane. But you don't want to do that. So that's how it works. You know what I'm saying? But I always have to make a point, and I'm not trying to insinuate anything, make people think any type of way. I say things to make a point. And the focus is always on positivity and going right, which is up, evolving and growing spiritually, and doing what we came here to do, because that's where the blessings are. And in order for you to get to your destination, and not saying that you're not going to have any hiccups along the way, but if you want to know how to stay in your own lane, that's the way you do it. You're going to add up your month, day, and year of your date of birth and get your life path number and be on your way. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I got for you. And I holla though. One love. Peace.